Hello students, welcome to TSS Tutorial Center, where we make complicated topics simple, simpler, simplest, and interesting to understand. So if you're in grade 10, you're in grade 12, you're in grade 11, and you've been having challenges, but you want to become good, you want to become better, you want to start thinking outside the box, then do make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button so that whenever I post a video, you're able to be notified and to just watch it for free. In this tutorial, we talk about earth geometry. Some students have been saying that earth geometry is very difficult. No, it's not. So make sure you watch until the end, where we're going to solve questions from exam papers. The same questions people have been saying that I can't answer this question. What am I going to do here? That's the same question we're going to be solving today. Okay, so let's dive into it. Zubo dude. So what are we first of all supposed to talk about? Before you even start talking about anything, make sure you know the compass. Because you can't talk about this topic minus you knowing the compass. Do you even know where north is? Ish, by grade 12. I doubt. Okay, I just hope you know where north is, where east is, where south is. Let me draw it. Okay, so let me just draw it fast. Okay, so this is the compass that we have. Then on top here, we're going to have north. Down here, we're going to have south. This side will have west. And this side, we're going to have east. This is the compass. Now, from there, we're supposed to know what lines are on the surface of the earth. That's very much important. And there are just two lines. That is the latitudes and the longitudes. So when you're talking about the latitudes are going to be lines that will be running from west to east. And the longest one, the one which divides the earth into two equal parts, it is known as the equator. And it's just 0 degrees. It is known as the equator, and it is 0 degrees. That is the longest latitude. What about the longitudes? The longitudes will be running from north to south. Okay, the lines I'm drawing, they're very satanic, but I'm sure you can see what I'm talking about. Now, the longest one is known as not the equator. Yes, it is known as the Greenwich meridian. Greenwich meridian. That is the longest, and it is 0 degrees. 0 degrees. Okay, so far, step by step, we have talked about the compass, we have talked about the latitudes, we have talked about the longitudes. If you want to remember the latitudes, that to me lines with lala, and then the latitudes, the lala. My longitudes, long. So now take note, the latitudes are the ones that forms a circle. They form a complete circle. But for the longitudes, the way they are, they don't form a circle. So you're not going to find the question asking you to find or calculate the circumference of a longitude. It will be the circumference of latitudes. This topic is very interesting, so I just want you to be in it. Just think of it that, okay, this is very simple and I'm understanding step by step. That's all I need or want from you. Then from there, we're going to talk about position. The location of an object. So in some questions, they will be asking you to determine the location which is just the same as position. Okay, so take note. The position is given by the latitude, comma, longitude. I want you to just keep in mind that the position is given by the latitude, then comma, longitude. So it's more like x, comma, y. The same thing we were doing in the x or y plane is the same thing that we'll be doing here. Now the x is going to be the latitude and the y is going to be the longitude. Then from there, you're supposed to know how to find the difference. How to find the difference. Better understanding, I've drawn the earth so that we're doing something. Imagine they ask you to say, what is the position of A? In this case, finding the position of A, you're going to say A position will be given by. I know that I'll start with the latitude, then comma longitude. Coming where A is, what is the latitude passing through point A? The one, utwalala. It is 50 degrees north. So you go this side. It's 50 degrees north. You don't just say 50. You say 50 degrees north. Then the next question, what is the longitude passing through point A? So the one which is like this, going from north to south. So that is 40 degrees west. I'm going to put this side 40 degrees west. What about C? The same thing. We're just going to put point C. Then you ask yourself, what is the latitude passing through point C? It is 60 degrees south. So you're going to write this side, 60 degrees south. What about the longitude which is passing through point C? 40 degrees west. Okay, so you can find the position of B and D. It's going to be very simple since you know what I was talking about here. Just follow up the latitude, comma, longitude. Now from there, you'll be told to find the differences. And make sure you understand this introduction, because if you don't get the introduction, everything else will start sounding like Chinese, whereby you are hearing what I'm saying, but you're not understanding anything. The differences. It can be differences in longitude or differences in latitudes, but let's talk about it in a more simpler way. When talking about the difference, it is denoted as theta. It's known as theta. That is the difference. Now, the side of if it's north, west, east, south, they can be different. This is north, this is south. So when you have same sides, what are you supposed to do to find theta? So I want you to keep in mind, you subtract. So same, subtract. Then different side. What do you do? Different, you add. Okay, so make sure you keep this in mind. Let's find the difference between point A and B. So you can ask yourself, is A and B in longitude or latitudes? It's in what? Latitudes. So you're going to use the longitudes instead. What is the difference between point A and B? You ask yourself a very simple question. Pushe A na B, iri ma longitudes na latitudes. In this case, it is what? So it's in latitudes. You're going to use the longitudes. So you come at point A. What is the longitude passing through point A? It's 40 degrees plus. What about the longitude passing through point B? 30 degrees east. Now we can see that the signs, they are different. This is west, this is east. So you're going to add. That's why I'm putting plus there. But in a case where the signs, they are the same, you subtract. In this case, we're adding, so we're going to have 70 degrees. Don't put anything as north, west, east, it's just an angle. Then from there, let's try to find the difference that is there between point A and C. So you're going to ask yourself, point A and C, are they in longitudes or latitudes? A and C. Longitudes. So you're going to use the latitudes. Longitudes. So you're going to use the latitudes, which is this one and this one. So what is the latitude passing through point A? 15 degrees north. Plus, what about the latitude passing through point C? 60. The bar will babantu bamonaka bar promoter. And we can see that this is north, this is south. So what are we going to do? We're going to add 60 plus 50. This is 110 degrees. That's what we're going to be doing. So just make sure, same you subtract, different you add. You can find O, BD, and CD. And keep in mind, when you are doing your calculation, on point CD, it should give you 70 degrees. And between point B and C, you should get 110. Now you can go through and try to find out why we're getting 70 degrees and here why we're getting 110 degrees using the same concept. So this is very simple. You're understanding and you're not complaining. That's the way you're supposed to be keeping it. Let's move on to something else. That is the circumference. Circumference. What is the circumference? This is the total distance around the circle, not so, and it's given by 2 pi r. Now, according to what we said what will be forming the circles is the latitudes. So to find the circumference, we're just going to be finding the circumference of latitudes. Okay, so these guys, they will be forming circles. Now, when talking about the latitudes, there is something we'll be adding to the formula, and I want you not to be thinking about it too much. Oh, which one between the longitudes here do we put this guy? Which one is which? I just want you to take it easy, and instead of thinking too much, I want you to use this strategy that I was using when I was in grade 12. I'll look at the latitude and the longitudes. Whenever I hear the word latitude, when finding the circumference or even the distance, you're supposed to put cos alpha. So this guy, alpha, it looks more like A, and it is just in latitudes, not in longitudes. A is in latitude, is not in longitudes. So when it comes to longitudes, you're not going to be putting cos A. You can be saying cos A if you don't want to be forgetting cos A, so that you remember that I should always be adding it whenever I'm finding the distance in what latitudes, because that's where A is, cos alpha. If you forget this guy, then what you'll be doing will be totally wrong. Okay, now let's talk about the distance between 2 points over the latitudes. Suppose we are told to find the distance from here to there. Let's say this is A, this is B. So there's going to be an angle here that is theta. How to find the difference, we have talked about it. Okay, so finding the distance in latitudes is given by, we know that a circle is added up to 360. So we'll say theta out of 360 multiplied by the circumference, 2 pi r. Now the distance in latitude, so we said we should be adding cos alpha. So this is for in latitudes. Again, this is for in latitudes. But in longitudes, finding the distance is very simple. We don't add cos alpha. We just go direct. Just go direct. Don't add alpha. Okay, so far we have talked about the position, we have talked about the difference, and we have talked about the circumference and the distance. Doing so, you're able now to solve questions from exam papers. Just these few things we have talked about, just a few. And that is paper 2. Paper 2, we can now solve questions. More than what you think. We can solve a lot of questions based on the same information. So if you have understood, then you can dance to this tune. Welcome back. Now we can solve questions. Let's dive into it. Okay, in our first question that came in 2017, paper 2, July, this is GCE. GCE yard kosa GCE yard kosa yonse exam yard kosa. Chabapo, Costa Duffy. Send Sange equation. So I've been given the position of P, Q, R, and S at the points on the surface of the Earth. Show the points on a clearly labeled sketch of surface of the Earth. Okay, so even drawing is very simple. What I used to do is I never used to go direct. I start drawing at the first instant. Now I'll count how many latitudes do I have and how many longitudes do I have. So I'll just say this side latitudes. Latitudes. And longitudes. Then I'll go back to the question. Looking at the positions, we said the position is given by what? The latitude, comma, longitude. Not so. So going back here, what is the latitude at point P? Then it's going to be this one. The first one, that is 80 degrees north. What about this one, Q? It is also 80 degrees north. So no need of counting, it's already there. What else? I have 85 degrees south. What about this one? It is still 85 degrees south. So just say 80 degrees north, 85 degrees south. They are the latitudes that we have. What about the longitudes? The longitudes, they are going to be the last part. So coming here, it is 10 degrees east. The first one, 10 degrees east. What about this guy? It is 70 degrees east. At point R, 70 degrees east is already here. So no need of drawing it. What about this guy? It is 10 degrees east as well. So it's already there. Okay, so you're done. Then you can draw. So I'm going to draw it from here. Okay, so how many latitudes do we have? Yeah, just two. So you see latitude number 1, moving from there to there. Number 2, from there to there. You have 80 degrees north. This is where north is going to be, because north is on top of the compass. Then this side, 85 degrees south. Then what else? The compass. East is this side. So don't put it this side. You're going to put these guys this side. So you're going to have the first one is going to be 10. This one is going to be 10. Then the second one is going to be 70. So you should start with 10, then 70. So this is 10 degrees east. This is 70 degrees east as well. Very simple. Now you're supposed to show the points. So you're going to ask yourself, where is point P? That's very simple. Point P is in latitude 80 degrees north. It is in along this latitude. Now, on which longitude? 10 degrees east. So it's at this point. This is where A is. This is where P is. So you can say P is at this point. What about Q? Q is also along the latitude 80 degrees north. The longitude is 70, so it's going to be here. This is where 70 is. 70 and pa. So where they're intersecting, that's where the position is. So this is point Q. What about S? S is 85 degrees south, so this long latitude. What about the longitude? It is 10. Apaso kwete 10. Song waisa apaso. The latitude is 85. So 85 degrees south. And the longitude is 70. So the position is not going to be this position because the longitude here is 10. But this point, that is R. Then the last one is just going to be S is going to be 85 degrees south, this latitude. What about the longitude? 10. So S is definitely this point. So I'm just using more like the concept of the X or Y plane. This is S. Very simple. You are done. Then you start calculating the equations. Okay, let's start. Number 1. We've been told to find the distance QR along the longitude. Okay, so we can say that QR is like this along the longitude, which means the formula we're going to use, if it's along the longitude, are we going to put cos alpha? Definitely no, we said only in the latitudes. So the formula you're going to use, even much simple now, is going to be theta over 3 skis t and times 2 pi r. Okay, so theta, that is the difference between point Q and R. So since it is in longitudes, we're going to use the latitudes. So the latitudes we'll use passing through point Q and passing through point R. So it's this one and this one. Okay, so we have 85. We have 85 and 80. They have different signs, so we're going to add. 80 plus 85 divided by 360 multiplied by 2, and the pi is 3.142 multiplied by r, which we've been given. It is in not comma, so it is 34. It's a saving. So punching this on your calculator, you should get 98, 99.1329. Okay, but according to math, we're supposed to round off to 3 significant figures. Okay, so doing so, we're just going to count 1, 2, 3. The number after this 9 is greater than 5. So we're supposed to get the 1 and add to 9, which is going to give us 10. Now you don't write that 10, you're supposed to add it to the previous number. So 8 is going to become 9. And how many digits do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to put 2 zeros so that the digits are now 4, not commas. And let's move on to the next one. Okay. B. Find in not commas the circumference of latitude cos 85, or latitude 85 degrees south. So I'm used. Whenever I hear the word latitude, cos will be coming in my mind. Okay, so let's do so. Circumference. We said it's given by 2 pi r then cos alpha. This alpha, where is it? So this is pi, then the r is going to be the same number, then cos alpha. The alpha, they're saying latitude 85. That's the alpha that we have. So the alpha is 85. Punching this on a calculator, you should get 1882.399 and so on. Then after you round off, you should get this number, 1880, not commas. Very simple. Okay, let's see the next question. Just take it easy, follow me. This is the simple question that we have. So whenever you see a question in math, don't be scared. Ita then some shit did anga or so kui be cup of njera. Okay, pirato na bakateka today sanga 50-50. This is what we have. W, X, Y, and Z are 4 points on the surface of the Earth, as shown in the diagram below. Taking pi to be 3.142 and radius to be 3,437, not comma. Calculate the difference in latitudes between W and Y. Okay, so we're finding the difference between W and Y. It's going to be given by what? This guy and this guy. Okay, so they are in latitudes or longitudes. They are in what? Longitudes. So what are we going to use? We're going to use the latitudes. That's how you find the difference. If they are in latitudes, you use the longitudes. If they are in longitudes, you use the latitudes. So in this case, it is in what? Longitude. So we're going to use the latitude. What is the latitude passing through point W? That is 80 degrees north, plus What about Q? The latitude 30. And remember, my latitude to that's utwalala. And we can see the sides. This guy and this one, they are different, not so. Okay, so when we add, we're supposed to get what? We're going to add because the sides, they are different. When we add, we're going to get 110 degrees. And we said no need of adding north, south, west, east, no. Just an angle. Let's move on to the next one. On the first one, you're done just like this. At the exam, yeah, because our exam, we have a shine, our exam, we have a shine. You just don't study. You don't have time for the studying preparation. Make sure you prepare yourself. Let's continue doing this hinder. Let's see how simple, more simpler it is. Calculate the distance in nautical miles between x, z. X, z. This is in what? Longitude, sir? Not so. Yes, which means if it's in longitudes, the formula that I'm going to use, I'm not going to add cos alpha. Just going to be 2 pi r this side. This is the formula I'm going to use. Very simple. And I'll just start substituting. I know how to find the difference. I shouldn't even have to be worrying about the difference. X, Z, they're in longitudes. So I'm going to use the latitudes. That is 80 plus 30, the same thing that we did here. So the difference which is between this point and this point is equal to the difference which is between this point and this point. So get 110 divided by 360. Substituting 3.142 multiplied by the radius 34, 37. Okay, so when you do the calculations and punch this on your calculator, you should get 6599.4199 and so on. Then when you round off, what are you going to have? 1, 2, 3. The number after 9 is greater than 5. So you're going to get 1 plus 9 to give you 10. You don't write 10, you're going to add 1 this side. So 5 is going to become 6. How many digits do you have? 4. So you're going to put 2 zeros. And you say not come out. You're done. You move on to the next one. This is very simple, guys. Okay, so the distance is YZ, and we can see that it is now in latitudes, which means the formula is going to be having the cos alpha. So we're going to say 2 pi r then cos alpha. What is the difference between y and z? Since it is in latitudes, what are we going to use? The longitudes. So we're going to use this one in this one. We can see this one is west, this one is east. Two different sides. We're using the longitudes. So we're going to add. Adding this guy plus this guy, we're going to get 120 over 360 is equal to 2 pi. Then we have the radius 34, 37, then cos alpha. So take note, cos alpha is not the difference. No. It's not the difference. It is the latitude where the distance is lying. In this case, we are talking about YZ. So my terms of YZ. What latitude is that? 30. So this side is supposed to put 30 degrees. So taking this up, okay, so you should get that. Then after you round off, you should have nautical miles. Very simple. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next question that we have, you can pause the video, then you try to solve it. Okay, we may start. A, B, C, and D are points on the surface of the earth as shown in the diagram below. This is the diagram that we have. It looks complicated, but I said don't be afraid. In math, never be afraid. Question number 1. Using the latitudes and longitudes, write the position of points A and B. Very simple. Positions. What did we see? Position is given by latitude, comma, longitude. That's what they want us to do. Very simple. So what is the latitude passing through point A? Latitude. So at point A, in case I did 60 degrees north. What about the longitude? EME 51 degrees west. You're done with the first one. What about B? The same thing. What is the latitude passing through point B? We want E nishani to Africa kudemba 8 degrees now is south. South, you're cool. What about the longitude? Still, it is 51 degrees west. You are done. You move on to the next one. This is what they do in people pass. You'll be thinking now, umuntu ari kuitesana manu. Kuberenga fe waswatiranga kuzwatira. Find the difference in longitudes between points C and D. So we are finding theta between point C and D. Very simple. We're going to do the same thing we've been saying here. C and D. C and D. This point is in latitudes, not so. So what are we going to use? We're going to use the longitudes. Now, let's say the longitude which is passing through point C. 81 degrees east. What about the Swibo? 81 degrees east as well. They are the same sides. So if we don't add, we're going to subtract. And it shouldn't have to give you a negative. So you get the bigger one minus the smaller one. 1 minus 1, 0. 8 minus 3, 50. So we're just going to have 50 degrees. You move on to the next one. Very simple. I want you to be seeing math the same way I used to see it. I never used to be afraid of math. Calculate the distance, CD, in nautical miles, CD. So the same guy, they want us to find the distance, even making the work more easier because we have found the difference already. We know that the formula we're going to use is definitely going to have cos alpha because CD is in latitude. So we're going to say theta. The one that we have found here, 50, multiplied by 2 pi r. It's in latitudes, so definitely we should put cos alpha. Okay, so the difference, the one that we found, it is 50. 50 over 360 multiplied by 2 pi. What is the radius we've been given in nautical miles? This side are just saying cos alpha, and we said it's not equal to 50. If it is equal to 50, or it equals the difference, it's just the convenience, we can say the latitude is not equal to the difference, it's equal to the latitude. The line or the distance you are finding is lying. Mokalele, so on, cut distance. It is 80. So this side you're supposed to put 80 degrees. Then you punch on the calculator. So you should get 551. Okay, so by doing so, this is the same approach that you're going to be given when you are being asked when examining. It always comes in an exam, by the way. It's geometry. I know it's geometry. I'm going to get these questions correct in no time. Wapwisha. Okay, so thank you for watching. Make sure you comment, you like, and also subscribe so that whenever I post a video, my dear, you're able to see it just for free. Make sure to invite friends, relatives, families. You know, knowledge is about sharing. The more you share, the more you grow. The bad kuro babanzu ba monaka ba promoter. I go ginger you, CIRCUMFERENCE, depend upon me. I might have a scene by your scary baby. Alan is so skinny, can't so it on a shade. It's a fast and a shark, such baby shade. I'm on my own as a